everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in to Candid Stories of My Soul with your host, Raquel. We have an amazing interview today with Justin Star Ingram. He is our special guest, and I'm very honored to have him. So, right now would be a good time to click like and share. Stay with us. We're going to talk about just how Mr. Justin Star Ingram became the fabulous individual that he is. I mean, we're born fabulous anyway, right? But it's all about us discovering how fabulous we really are. Stay with us and we'll be back. Much love and peace to all watching and or listening to Candid Stories of My Soul podcast with myself as the host, Raquel Shelby. From the moment we take our first breath and every experience that follows builds us up and creates the individuals we are today. In life, we will experience both the good and the bad because in order for balance to exist, both must coexist. There cannot be good without bad, nor can there be chaos without peace. We are souls experiencing humanity. The Creator is the author of it all. Whether we believe in a God source or not, He is within us all and is present at all times, embedded in us like our DNA. You will get to audibly witness many journeys of individuals as they are living, breathing, and ever-growing documentaries in the flesh. Many will attest to how the Creator was there, and many of these accounts will be mind-blowing. Please share with your family and friends and enjoy the message we have for you today. Hey, Justin, thank you so much for coming on today. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Good vibes, positive energy today. So, can you explain to us what is it that you do and what services you provide and all of that stuff?
Yes, of course. So I am a psychic medium. I refer to myself as a galactic shaman because the different spirits, energies, and the dimensions that I go through have to do with the higher dimensions rather than like the usual shamanistic earth realm things. And I also do different readings, so like tarot readings, past life readings. I go to what's called the Akashic Records, which is a record of all information of everything that's happened in the past. And I also work with angelic soul contracts. So many times, like throughout our lives, we have things that keep popping up, patterns that we're trying to get rid of, different energies that keep popping up. Usually we have a soul contract, which is before we're babies, we're soul or spirit. We all know this, like you pop into a body. So before that, we're these all-knowing spirits, which is, you come from these higher dimensions where that's how it is, like, which is very, very high frequency. So when we are in that form, we decide what's going to happen on Earth. So that's what a soul contract is. So when it comes to soulmates, twin flames, jobs, all of that, it's like we pre-plan. And then because we have free will, we get to decide if we do it or not. So I offer just any help, advice, readings within the spiritual realm. So I'm just here to help.
That's awesome. So, you guys, you hear that? Make sure you book some sessions if you're looking for some answers. I actually did myself, and I got a lot of answers. I discovered some things, but we'll talk about that later because this is definitely not about me. Uh, so, going back, growing up, how like how are your parents or whatever? Like, were they religious? What was going on with them? How were you raised?
I grew up extremely religious, we can say. Like my family was practicing Catholic. I was in church every Sunday, essentially. I went to Catholic school, 7th and 8th grade, so then I was in church 3 to 4 times a week. And it's one of those things where I've actually been told recently by my angels that I was put in that position and I chose to be in that position so that I could be kept somewhat safe and secret so that in today's time, I can actually awaken my abilities and be here to help and not have had anything, happen or get lost along my way. So so family grew up very religious, but when it comes to me awakening my abilities and me really stepping into what and who I am, they kind of weren't into it. But I didn't really blame them because many humans on Earth are not awake to what's going on. And when it comes to things that can be new and scary to people, when it comes to the realm of people's perceived reality being not really what's going on, it's kind of a lot for people sometimes. So as I'm awakening to my truth and the truth of what's going on, my family was kind of like, we're not ready to wake up. So I was like, okay. so I've just kind of been doing my own thing while I'm essentially healing myself and waiting for them to come around. So, like everybody comes around in their own time. So when it comes to this kind of thing, it's good for us to view it from, we are going through our own personal awakening. Everybody has their own time when they're supposed to go through it. So try not to have hard feelings. Even though it's hard not to have hard feelings, it's best to try not to, because, remember when you weren't going through your awakening, just whoever it is that we're talking to right now. It's like we all come into it when we're supposed to, and we have people that are ahead of us and the people that are behind us. And then that's how we judge where we are in our awakening. So, yeah.
Right. Makes good sense. So are you guys still close? Do you just avoid the whole belief system thing altogether? Or how does that dynamic work?
Okay, so when I was going through my awakening, it was just very intense, and I was literally being guided by like these angels and different spirits and ancestors. So last year of 2022 was probably my most intense when it comes to my family and friends, because I started to understand that the majority of them, they didn't really have my back and support me because they didn't understand what I was even doing. And also sometimes, they're just like, I'm just not into this. So I actually kind of cut off my entire family and all my old friends because I needed to be myself, honestly, without any outside stimulus, so that I could fully connect with the spirit realm, find out what's going on, connect with my higher self, get these instructions of like why I'm here, what I'm doing, when I'm supposed to meet, and all of that. And it's kind of hard to do that when you have family that's like, is this even real? Like that kind of stuff. It's like, like not having to explain yourself and things like that. Like it was hard, but I had to take the plunge, and I didn't cut them off like, F you guys, cutting you off. It was like, no, there was some things that happened in the past, some trauma that I need to heal, that I need to understand, that I need to go through. And I can't be around you guys while I'm going through it because you guys were there, So it's just this thing where I'm kind of like by myself, but it's a self-imposed hermit mode so that I could train, heal, upgrade, and then have the skill set that I have now so that now I can come out. And then if my family actually wants to get healings, I can do it. And I know what I'm doing now, when before I was practicing and training, and when people are practicing and training, it's hard to be like, this is 100% real. And people are like, yeah. People are like, you don't even know if it's real. And it's like, I know, but I'm trying, so it's been a journey, but yeah, like I plan on connecting with them eventually, of course, but just for right now, I got to do my own thing. Like, in stories we hear that the young kid, when they came of age, they go to make their fortune. It's kind of like what I'm doing now. I had to leave the home base to literally travel the world and, like find why I'm here. And I did. So I love it. I'm here for it.
Makes sense. It makes perfect sense. So my next question would be, when did you really realize that you were different? Like, what things started to pop up? Like, I don't know about this whole system that I'm being raised in. It's more to this.
Okay. So I would say that I started realizing that I was noticing things that other people don't notice back when I was in college. Because what would happen is, you have like a lot of friends that you meet, and just, fellow classmates, just random people that you're hanging out with at the library. And I would notice that when I would be having conversations with people, there would be groups, right? Everything would be normal. But then when it would be me and one specific person, like in different groups, different friend groups, different family groups, it's like they would change it to a different person and like look at me all like mean and stuff and be, saying weird stuff like, oh, so you just think you're so cool, huh? And I'm like, what? That's a weird, what? Like, I don't understand what I've done to cause you to say that. Like you just want to hurt my feelings. And then, so I wouldn't say that, I would just think it. But so let's say my response was, what do you mean? Then they would keep going into it. And then if the people that were in the original group came back, the person would just flip, be like, oh, hey, everybody. And I would be looking at them like, what was that? why do people flip into another personality when it's just me and them? And it's to a
Mhm.
negative. It isn't like they switch and they're like, Justin, I just want to let you know, you're so awesome. I'm like, well, thanks, you're awesome too. It wasn't, it was like more of these negative situations with random people. And so fast forward like years, I'm starting to understand, because it started happening with my close friends and family. Like, let's say a couple years ago, when the whole, C word thing happened, we had to stay at home. I noticed the people that I was living with were literally turning into what I would call like demonic energies, like these negative, angry, like attacking energies. And then when other people come around it and it wasn't just me and them, they switch. And then I would ask them about it and they would have no memory. And I thought people were lying to me. And I was just going around this world thinking like, everybody's a liar. Why are they all liars? No, they're being taken over by another energy that's not them. Because there's a lot more going on than what we're taught in school. Like, oh, just get a job, have a family. There's an entire spiritual realm with all the way up to, essentially up to 12 dimensions, right? We're only taught this one, which is the third. Is one. So people focus on this, but there's so many other moving parts and spirits and energies and intentions that affect us here, that once we understand the moving parts, then you can start to live the life you want to live instead of having life kind of happen to you. People are like, life is happening to me. That's because you don't really understand how to control your own life. It's like, we didn't come here to not know what's going on and not have a control and have other people control what's going on for us. That's not why we're here. Like, we're here to experience, enjoy, and then leave and go do other things in the cosmos, So yeah, I feel like I kind of went on a tangent with that one, but
No, that was perfect. As you were talking, it made me think of the movie Fallen with Denzel Washington.
yes, yeah. So
Like,
it's like
what?
yeah, like, because I had seen that movie earlier this year, and I was like, this is the best visual description I have of what I go through. Because then I would ask people like, does that happen to you? And people like, what are you talking about? You crazy? And I'm like, nah, this has been happening for years. Like, I know that this is what's going on. But so as I started getting into my different energy healings and trainings, or actually before that. So this was about 3 years ago. I was living at the beach. I like got to beach level, and I was living in a loft, and I'd had different like holistic healing friends, people that were into nutrition, people that were into yoga, things like that. Because I was, moving more into that direction when I stopped pursuing acting and modeling. Because like that, I just figured out that wasn't for me. Like, I loved it, but also I didn't love it, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
So, there's like that cognitive dissonance where I'm like, I want to do this and I want to be famous and wealthy and abundant, but I don't go playing different characters and not actually ever getting to be myself it's draining my energy. And I don't feel like myself because I'm literally not. So there would be different situations where so I had a friend where half of her face was paralyzed because she had been doing eye gazing and had gone through like this, it was like this anger that she was releasing, but she released the anger and then it like paralyzed her face. Like it just happens sometimes, I guess. But so just over time of being friends with her, so like I would have a voice, that I know now are my angels and my higher self that would say, put your hand on her cheek. I'm like, okay. I'm like, can I put my hand on your cheek? You're like, yeah, sure. So I like put my hand for it and put it on her cheek. And then I'd close my eyes and then I would see like a spiral pop up, and which I know now are portals. So I like wear this portal crystal, just like helps me remember every day, why I'm here.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a
And
good one.
then I saw, so it became like a white screen. And I'm like, this is interesting. And then I saw these red lines, like somebody had a big marker and they're drawing these lines. So it was like these red lines. And then there were these black toothpick things that appeared that were like blocking the flow of the red. And then what I heard in my head was remove the black toothpicks. So I just imagined, like, okay, I'm just going to remove them. And then they just started floating out. And then I saw the red marker streaks start flowing again. And then so then I opened my eyes and I moved my hand, and then she's like, what the heck? Okay, I can feel my face more. How did you do that? And I'm like, I don't know. So then over time, I found out that that's Racqi energy, which is the Japanese word for life force energy. Because I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, I know I'm helping, but I have no idea how I'm tapping into this, but I want to learn. So then I started researching Racqi training, psychic development classes, started learning that being psychic is real. We're taught it's not, but then how are there classes to learn how to do it? And then I took them, and then I actually unlocked my abilities. I was like, wow, this is real. So that's why we all love Harry Potter and things like that, because it resonates with us. Because in the past, because this isn't our first time in this body. Well, this is our first time in this body. We've had multiple bodies. We've lived as the ancient cultures and beings. That was us. We're here again. we don't, everybody, we don't die how we're taught. I want you all to stop being afraid of like, getting hit by a car, or you're just gonna choke. No, back to the soul contract things, the angelic soul contract. You wrote when you want to leave. So there's no fear of you leaving anytime before that. You see what I'm saying? Like, we have ways of actually finding out when we leave, what our cosmic jobs are, what we were doing in the past, what we came here to actually do in the future, which is back to the cosmic job. All of we each have an individual spirit team. Like, it's like life is an amazing video game once you understand how to see it like that.
Oh yeah. So with that being said, do you believe that near-death experiences are just when you get off a little off, something happens that wasn't necessarily written down and then they just bring you back? Or do you think those near-death experiences are even scheduled as well?
I would say both. Like, so let's say that there are certain contracts that only activate if free will on both sides is like the intention is for it to happen. Like, if two people decide to have a relationship, soul contract activated. But let's say that one person is like, I like you so much, and the other person's like, I'm kind of dating somebody else. That soul contract can't activate yet. So it's kind of, so it's like energetically like that, where if you're doing something, like say you're driving somewhere, and then somebody chooses to run a red light. You didn't plan for that to happen. It wasn't, I'm gonna get hit by this car in this red light, unless that was the plan for an experience, or for you to then leave the earth realm to go do other things. And that was just your time, like, because we're taught death is like, So let's just say that you're driving, driver runs the red light, hits you, you go into a near-death experience because you weren't supposed to die yet. So you have the option where it's okay, this person has made a choice that has given you the option where you can leave and go do other things if you've completed all your experiences. Because you astral project out. Like, when your body's like, you astral project out. Just like in the movie Doctor Strange, or in one of the new Avengers, when Doctor Strange pushes Spider-Man and his spirit form pops out. And it's like, I'm pretty sure most people on Earth have seen that movie. So this is a frame of reference. That is, where do you think they got that idea from? That's what you do every night when you dream. You astral project out of your body. Your body needs to heal and re-energize because you go to sleep because you're tired, right? Your body is tired. Your soul doesn't actually get tired. Your spirit and soul floats to the higher dimensions, and you dream. You meet other people. You see family, see passed over family, friends that you know now. Then when your body's like, okay, I'm charged up, or an alarm goes off, you come back and you start your day again. Like, yay, I'm back in the 3D.
It's funny because I was thinking the other day, when people would get beheaded or something crazy would happen, I would almost wonder, do you jump out of that body before you even feel the pain, or do you feel the pain and jumping out? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it depends on how much you hold on. If you haven't gained the information that death is not real, in the sense of you don't disappear, you don't feel this infinite pain and then go to a place called hell. No, it's not what happens. It's what we're taught, so that we're scared and we're like, I'm scared of stuff, so then I'm not going to move forward. And you stay in the same place, and then people can control you. People can control you if you're scared. That's why us getting over this fear, especially the fear of death, when okay, I signed a contract that I wrote myself that I'm going to leave when I'm 95. Let's say you learn that, then you can live your life. You can nothing will hold you back, like fear-wise. You won't be afraid to get on that plane. You won't be afraid to get on that boat. You won't be afraid to go to that country. Because what? Why would you be afraid? Nothing is going to happen to you when it comes to like this intense pain, and then you disappear because now you're dead. It's like, no. I've had 3 near-death experiences where I came back to my body each time. That's how I'm still here. So I'm one of those people, people are like, whoa, the near-death experience people, what did you see? I saw everything. And I met my higher self, and I got all this info, and I bring everything I learned, I bring here to give to the people. Like, I'm here to be a middle way, and that's what a shaman is. It's like we go in between realms, get information, bring it back so that people can use that, apply it to their lives, live a happier life, be more healed, not be all like, I have all this pain. There are ways to get rid of pain now, that just the usual ways. There are other ways that have to do with energy. So, I'm here.
So I definitely want to get into the near-death experience too, but so you felt the nudge to take classes to develop your abilities. Do you suggest that everyone do that that's in the spiritual realm, or do you think that's something you should do if you're inclined to do it, or you feel the nudge to do it?
I think that you should do it if you are called to do it and if it interests you. It's just like with normal school. If you're taking a subject, you're like, I don't care, then you're not going to learn it. And it's super hard. And then when you do learn it, you don't retain it. So if if Harry Potter was your thing, time to sign up for some psychic development classes. I'll just put it like that. I'm also going to be offering psychic development classes just like in a couple months this year. So it's a thing where like it's real, y'all. Like it's time. Like I said, if you wanted to go to Hogwarts, you're like, if only this was real. It is. It's just a different context. It's like us here today, not we need to go to platform 13 or whatever it was. Then you gotta go through it, and then you gotta, get the owl that comes. You don't have to do all that. All I have to do is just read books and meditate, because meditation is when you apply the training that you've been learning in the books. That's and then when you close your eyes and you meditate, it's not like, because many people are like, oh, meditation is boring. Yeah, it's boring in the beginning, just like anything else. Have you guys ever tried to work out? Boring. You have to make it fun. You got to add your music. You got to, like pick your perfect time. Same with this. It's like you pick you find what you want to do and what interests you and what powers you want to have, because most likely you already have innately within your chakras the power that you want to embody and embrace and have. Like if you want to fly, most likely you're an astral projector. So you learn how to astral project, and then you can fly. You're not going to physically grow wings like, oh, my wings, finally, see you later. That's ridiculous. How are you going to wear clothes? You can't wear clothes if you have wings. Come on. Like, I think about these things, guys. I was like, I'm just joking, but seriously though, it's like, if you're into flying, that's astral projection. If you want to shoot laser beams out of your eyes, that's Racqi energy, where you learn how to shoot energy out of your eyes at negative spirits that you feel around you. And then they disappear and then explode. Like there's a lot. And this is now the age of information and the age of us becoming what we were before. We were able to do these things before, but not everything is done in the third dimension. Many of these stories of gods and goddesses and ancestors and flying around, blowing stuff up, that was in the higher dimensions, where you can go when you train and you learn how to go there. Just like anything else, nothing is impossible. Many people are like, I could never build a skyscraper. Yeah, you can go to engineer school and learn how to do it and be a part of those projects. You can literally do anything. You just have to train, learn, study, and want to do it.
Yeah, you're right. And if you have an interest, there's something there. I remember before I really realized I was awakening, I was watching Once Upon a Time. I think it's Once Upon a Time.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite characters, I liked them all, but my favorite ones were the Evil Queen and Rumple. And I was like, I want to be able to throw fireballs. Like but it could be because I have fire energy anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was kind of like apprehensive of watching American Horror Story, but one of my favorite ones is The Witches. I watch a lot of stuff like that, like Skeleton Key, anything, The Magicians, Supernatural, anything like that. I love it, So yeah, it's definitely something to that, that you gravitate to that stuff and you don't even know why. But yeah, everybody watching, take his class. I'm gonna take it too. I'm gonna sign up. I'm gonna take it too. So earlier you had said something about 12 dimensions. Could it be that the story of Jesus and his 12 disciples really was representation of the realms?
Okay, so with that, so the story of Jesus is a story that is based off of an ancient story in Egypt. Like most stories are based off of that because that's when we started recording things, like anciently. So the number 12 is actually how we are locked into this realm. So the 12 represents, like there's 12 dimensions because we're actually locked into these. There's actually more dimensions than that. It's just that we've found ourselves in the time that we're in right now. And that's what the ascension and the awakening is awakening to the fact that we're supposed to be leaving here and not just get reincarnated on Earth for infinity. Because while we're on Earth, you have to pay to live here. Being here is not free like it is in the other dimensions. You have to eat, you have to feed this body, you have to go to the bathroom. And there's gates that are kept that make it so, you have to pay, or you have to, know somebody that's able to help you with this. Like there's just a lot of different things going on where it's not free, and I'm not saying it has to be free, but it was free originally. like Earth was not like, you have to pay me to eat this fruit and these veggies and grow stuff and live here. That's not what it was like. That's what it's like now, though. So when it comes to the 12 is also the number of the clock. We're also locked into the number 12 with that. There's also 12 zodiac. We're also locked into that because the zodiac has to do with our body and our energies that we have, not our soul. Our soul is not the zodiac. Like you don't go to the higher dimension, meet other beings, and you're like, I'm a Scorpio. It's like, no, you are you and your soul energy or your spirit energy. It's not, and also with names, like names are not, like you don't meet people and they're like, what is your name? And you're like, I'm this and that. It's like, no, you just meet them and talk and get information and then, and then keep going. So the 12 is, it's like, it's important for us to know that 12 is essentially like as high as things go when it comes to what we're locked into. So yeah, so it could have to do with the disciples, but the thing is that's a story and like an allegorical story. So basing it off of that is like, I can't really say, but when it comes to 12, like that number it's very important because that's how we're locked in here.
Okay, we can definitely say 12 is significant for sure.
Yeah.
So we were talking, we had fear had came up. Fear keeps you bound and able to be controlled. There's this thing going around I see on TikTok every once in a while. It's always some fear. And they were talking about the banking system and how now different people have been having issues cashing checks. It's been some things about banks lately anyway, and that they have to have their things backed by gold now. Is going back and all of this stuff. And then you also have the whole theory of the one world government and the chip in the hand and all of this stuff, yada, yada, yada. What do you think about that? Like, what is your take on that for anybody who would be not at ease as such?
So the world is not really a place where it's like, how do I word? I need to make sure I word this right. It's like the place is not meant to be a place where you experience fear. It's something where beings that are here keep that going. Because in a like just a general life, you eat, you work, you love, you live. Why would fear pop in there? Like, like that's because beings are making it that way. It's like the state of Earth is not naturally fear. You know what I mean? Like even with natural disasters, that's supposed to happen because Earth is re-regulating her surface. We just happen to live here. So prospectively, we put ourselves in fear as well. Like, and that's because of lack of information. So as more information comes out and people understand what's really going on, such as we don't die, you astral project out of your body, just like how you do every night when you go to sleep. Things like that. People are like, oh, what? I thought we'd disappear. I've been scared this whole time that I disappear, so I don't go out. Then they're able to go out. But why? Because they got the information that they were able to apply and then understand and use to move forward again. So as more information comes out, fear is going to go away. Being scared that a chip is going to get put in your head, unless you get a mandate that is like, you have to get this chip right now, or we're going to throw you in Guantanamo Bay. Unless that happens, why would you be scared of that? It's like we're taught to fear things that may happen in the future. Unless it happens, don't be scared of it, because it's not real. It's not real until it's real. You're just scared of I might get hurt. What? Did you get hurt though? No. What? Then stop being scared of something that hasn't happened, because then you just manifest it. And then it happens because you thought, I don't want to stub my toe. I don't want to stub my toe. Oh, I stubbed my toe. See, I knew it. This world is bad. No, you called on that energy, and then your universe changed itself and warped itself a little bit so that there be a rock in front of you, because all you're thinking is stub my toe, because the universe doesn't hear no or can't or won't. It just hears the thought that you're thinking. Like, you can't say, I don't want a new job. What you said was, I want a new job. So in that case, it really actually would work for you, like, in that case. But most people do the reverse, where they're like, I don't want the job at Target. I don't want that one. I'm down for any other job, but I don't want the Target job. I don't want. Guess who's going to be calling saying you got the job? Target, because you told the spirit realm, this is what I'm thinking about, so bring it to me. Rather than yes, no, maybe so. It's not, energy doesn't work like that. Like, there isn't yes energy or no energy. There's high vibrational energy and low vibrational energy that have different causes and effects. But there is no yes energy, no energy. It's like what you think about. You just like the whole what you eat, you are, what you think you become, what you think you see, what you see in your mind and your imagination, you will see physically. So make sure you see what you want. People are like, oh, I can't get my ex out of my mind. Well, because you keep thinking about them. So you have to think of make new relationships, think of other things, get rid of the pictures of YouTube. Like, there's ways that we can prep ourselves for the life we want, but you have to put in your mind with different mantras, different affirmations, just different images, like the background of people's phone. Make the background on your phone or your computer the place that you want to move to, because then you'll be seeing it every day subconsciously. And it's not you thinking about it like, let me go look at pictures of the new place. Oh man, I can't wait. Oh man, when is it coming? Because that's how we block stuff. Tell the universe what you want, make the necessary moves, and then do other things so that it can come. Just like anything else.
Yes, that's a very excellent suggestion, to make your phone almost like a vision board, almost with your wallpaper. Yep. I did that, but with both of my phones. So yeah, that's a real thing. That really is a real thing. When it comes to the fear stuff too, and this is where my mind goes. Okay, so like, here we go. Robots are taking over. They're going to take all our jobs. Well, do you want to work a job?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, okay, you don't want to work a job. You don't want these robots to have it. They're going to, whatever the system is, it's going to adjust to where everybody's just not going to starve to death and die. Like, something else is going to come forward. I don't think we should be working jobs anyway. Not in that regard. I think we should exchange energy for the things that we need. But the way we're doing it now is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But if they want to still stay on a monetary, let's go with the whole monetary gain system, that the capitalistic system that they're with. So they put robots in place. Well, they still got to find a way to get their money. So, if you're not working, where your money coming from? I think we have to think about stuff like this. Some things go against free will. Like, okay, even when the nasty sham of virus came around and people got sick. Okay, but we're not getting into that. I'm just saying. There was a lot of lies around it. A lot of people were mandated to get these injections, which to me goes against free will. Now, where that's arguable, the gray area is, well, you still don't have to take it and you could just lose your job. But you're displacing people, so it becomes tricky. I didn't want it. I never had to take it. It didn't come in my it didn't come in my thing to do. You know what I'm saying? It never popped up in my space, in my reality to do. So I think people are scared because when it comes to stuff, even in the past, the Holocaust, slavery, and all of that stuff, it's like that stuff was against people's free will. So what changes it from now? I don't know, but I think the best thing to do is just look for the best and not feed the fear. I mean, because how do you know? You know what I'm saying? You might get insights about things, but not everything. Yeah. Not everything. I mean, you wouldn't live life, right? How would we live if we knew everything? You realize that you had the Racqi ability. You were literally like universally, spiritually guided to do that, like taught in a way. And you took the baton and moved forward to cultivate it. What other things popped up for you?
In regard to just like different things that I was learning like from the spiritual realm.
Yes, like different gifts and stuff like that.
So through the psychic development classes, it's like each class is a different ability, pretty much. So you kind of like you go through all of them, and then you pick and choose which ones are for you, essentially. So for me, I've always had beings speak to me, but I didn't really. It's like I didn't have any training. Like I've always had angels around me, always feel like protection, but it was never like I can feel an angel right there. Hey guys, don't worry, we're protected right now. We can go do what we're gonna do. It wasn't really like that. It's like I always knew that I would always be okay. I just needed to just listen to my own internal guidance. Because like I noticed people would lead me astray very often when I like ask for advice. People give terrible advice because they don't know what they're talking about. They just give you advice because you asked. So that's a thing where when you start listening to your own internal guidance, then you know what to do.
Yeah.
You know, so mediumship is a big thing for me. Like that's one of the main things that I do. Like I help clients and just people that I meet connect with their different spirit guides, which is the gods and goddess ancestors. You know, it has to do with all of the gods. So the Indian gods, the Norse gods, the Greek gods, Roman gods, Egyptian pantheon, all of them. Like I come from, it's like, so I'm what's referred to as a cosmic prince because I come from all of these cosmic bloodlines of royalty, where royalty is switching and changing from what it used to be, where it's like, oh, we have money, so we're the kings and queens. It's like, nope, it's that's earth realm. There is no such thing as money. So that's another thing, getting into money, how people are freaking out about it. You can manifest whatever you need. You just need to learn how to do it. It has nothing to do with that. And that's the thing with jobs. It's like the way that the world is moving towards is the majority having their own businesses and then the population's working for all of these different personalized businesses, rather than it being these conglomerate businesses that run the world and then have kind of like nobody can tell them anything because we have money and we're rich. But the thing is, now that we're all tapping into our spirit guides, our own spirit energy, many of you are going to be like, not going to be, many of you are going to find out that you come from royal bloodlines as well, because it's not what we were taught. We were taught only body. There's 12 dimensions. That has to do with the 3D, which we exist in, but we all, and that's what multi-dimensionality is. We have a body here, but when you dream, you don't take your body with you up there. Like, I'm still me. You're still you because of your consciousness. But that's the thing, is your multi-dimensional consciousness goes to the higher dimensions, the 4th, 5th, and 6th. But then you can go even higher than that, because you have an avatar body in each of these dimensions, because we've been doing stuff. We are last of everything we've done on Earth now. This is the last thing. We've been alive. We've been existing. We've been creating. We've been destroying. We've been operating. We've been doing all this stuff. It's just that we're in a world right now where they make us not know what's true. So we get jobs, and then we work for them, and then people use our energy so that they can live an amazing life. It's like, so they manifest off of us.
Yeah.
But we're getting out of that, and then we're starting to manifest for ourselves. You turn that energy that we're taught, give to everyone until you're depleted, and then give some more. And that's what makes you a good person. That's not what makes you a good person. That's what makes you a depleted, tired person. All that energy that we give to people that don't reciprocate it, we're cutting that off. We're not allowing people to just drain us. We're turning that energy inward. We're starting to meditate more, find out who we are, find out our body bloodlines as well. You need to find out your ancestry. That doesn't mean go on ancestry.com or do 23andMe. Do your own research, because that, once again, are these big conglomerate businesses where they have intentions they're not telling us about. You can go to a library and research your own information. You may have to pay a little bit, but do you want to know where you came from? Just like you have to pay to eat too, right? You have to pay to go on trips. You have to pay. You can pay to get your genetic information, so you know where you come from, where you want to go, where you want to visit, you know, what makes you you.
Yeah.
But we're so used to just working hard and giving and not ever receiving, and then people are upset because of that, and they feel a certain type of way towards their family, and we're turning that energy inward so that we can heal our traumas, the things that make us sad and upset, and then be happier all together, creating this collective consciousness, which is what we're doing, whether people are doing it or not, believe they're doing it or not. I'm one of the main beings on Earth that's been awoken to the fact that I'm here to create this thing. And what it is it's like a cell phone network that we can all you just close your eyes and think about it, and then you're in it. And it's like this, it's the internet and phone service essentially, but it's our telepathic ability to connect with each other. So let's say something happens in France where they're like, oh no, there's like a a horrible blizzard here, don't come. So then the people in France, or whatever one of us is there in France, would send into the collective consciousness, don't come to France right now, there's a blizzard. And it would go to everyone on Earth, and then everybody would know, and they would readjust their plans. It's not a unity consciousness like we all are going to take a sip of water together. Like, it's not like, that's nonsense, or like we're all slaves to one mind. It's like, no, you get to be you, but then we have a large network of us.
Yeah.
So that we can just be more effective and efficient. Like, it's the whole reason. Like, that's the only purpose. Make things more effective and efficient on this earth. But it takes us to be at a certain vibration. What does raise the vibration? What does that mean? Make everybody happier. Make it so everybody's more content with their life. That's what that means. Because right now, most people on earth are like, eh. Or people in countries that are making what, 10 cents a year? They're like, I hate this. What is this? And then, and then Americans or people from the UK come visit. We got all this money just flexing on it. What is that? This disparity in money all over the world. It's like, it's a system that was created that has nothing to do with the spirit realm. We are from the spirit realm. We have come here. We got our avatar bodies so that we can affect this place. Make sure that you're affecting this place. Like, don't waste your time. Let's all go to Hogwarts. Yeah. I'm telling y'all, it's realer than you think. And I know some people are like, nah, there's no way. How do you think I'm able to speak with this kind of confidence? Is because I know for a fact that this stuff is real, because I already trained in it and got there. I'm here. I'm here, you guys. I'm here, y'all, to let you know it's real. Like, I already did the work. So you don't have to go out, take classes that are scams, get so many scams. The scams are going to start going away, because as the real, you and I and others, people watching this podcast, we are waking up to what's going on. And then if somebody tries to scam you, what you do is you just feel their energy. You're like, this is fake. Rather than finding out when you don't get your product that you paid for, oh no, it's fake. No, everything is energy. Feel the energy of the person trying to scam you. Does it feel genuine or does it feel scammy? If it feels scammy, don't pay them. Like, that's the kind of world that we're moving into, where people actually use their energetic, emotional awarenesses, which is your psychic abilities, which is you tapping into your chakra energy centers. If any of you watching this don't know what a chakra is, how can you become magical if you don't access your magical centers within you? That's all I'm saying.
Drop the mic. Drop the mic. Man, for real. Oh, meditation. So we want to go and get what cosmic family you're connected to, or whatever questions you may have. How do you go about getting those things answered within meditation?
So you want to start off meditating, listening to guided meditations. Because if you think about it, how can you know how to meditate or get good at it when you haven't learned the instructions of how to do it? Many people just think you just close your eyes and try to be quiet. It's like, no, you've been trained to have your mind just like, with TikTok, it's like, I just gotta have all these different things just stimulating me. It's like, that's what the world is right now. Yeah, so you want to start with guided meditations, usually on YouTube, Spotify. The Headspace app is what I originally used, because I was like, where do I start? And I was like, okay, there's an app. Let me try this. And I just started with like 1 to 2 minutes a day, where, and there's a voice that's like, okay, we're gonna close your eyes. Now you're in the center of your head. Now move down your neck, your shoulders, and then you're moving through your body, and that's called a body scan. So instead of you sitting there like, okay, I'm just gonna quiet my mind, even though I have all these thoughts, instead it's like active. You want to start with it's active meditation. That's what guided meditations are. And then you can move into sound bath meditations, or mantra meditations, or god or goddess meditations, where it's these different frequencies that people create and then put on YouTube for you to listen to, so that you can find that calm space, that happy place, just that really calm center within yourself, whether that's based off the person's voice, the music, because each of us is different. So it isn't like, oh, you play this one song, it'll work. Everybody's different. Some people won't like it. Some people will love it. Some people will feel no ways about it. So you find what music or guided meditation allows you to really just relax and not think all those anxiety thoughts, which most of the time when there's thoughts running through our mind, it's their anxiety thoughts. Like, I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, am I doing this right? Am I on time with this? Did I miss anything? Am I making enough money? Am I paying my bills? Anxiety. So when you're able to really calm that down by focusing on the voice that's telling you where to go, what to see, because I also do guided meditations on TikTok, like weekly. So, but it's because it's like I'm helping bring people into the fact that you can do this. It's not some far east science that no. We can all do it. Like, if you're a human, you can meditate because you go to sleep every night, right? You astral project into the dream dimensions with everybody, right?
Yeah, do.
Exactly.
I'm always dreaming.
Yeah, exactly.
I find with meditation, I'm gonna start doing those guided meditations. I've done them a couple times, and sometimes I feel like I'm getting off task even with those, but I really do like those singing bowls.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I don't know, it's something about those singing bowls. I don't know. So those that are listening, try that. You might like that too. But yes, and the guided meditation, that is on point. I'm gonna start doing that more. Near-death experiences. So you said, how many have you experienced?
I've had 3.
3.
Yeah.
Okay. How many of them are you willing to talk about?
I mean, most of them, because they weren't really like traumatic experiences.
Okay.
It's just that because some of them were through meditation, because there's something called a near-death meditation, actually, where you essentially stop breathing, but it's because you get to a state where your lungs breathe like using pranic energy or Racqi energy. Yeah. And then it allows you to astral project as if you had died. There you go. So yeah, when I found out that was real, I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and try that.
Ooh, and you
Then I met
tried it.
and I met my higher self, like literally like as a physical light being in front of me, dancing and talking to me and answering all my questions from the Akashic records. And I'm just like, what's happening? Like, I'm talking right now. I'm just like, wait, what's going on? What are you? And my higher self was like, oh, I'm you. And it's like dancing. I mean, then what am I? And I was like, you're me. Like, then what are we? And it's like, and it just kept going. He was like, these are our past lives, these are our future lives. And I'm just like getting downloaded all this information. I'm like, I knew that there was more to this than just you die and disappear, because you don't. That's nonsense. So.
Wow. That's actually dope. I've never heard of that. This is the first time of me hearing it, actually.
Yeah,
You
because
coming with some
the
new
higher
stuff.
ups, the higher ups don't want us near death experiencing stuff. They're like, nah, go to work. Go to work. Make us
Yeah.
not. But yeah, no.
Like I've heard different stories on YouTube, but that was the first time I've heard like a meditation type. Usually somebody's gotten hit by a car or they were in the surgery room and they bled out. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
stuff like that, but not like that. That's deep. What about another one that you've had?
Okay, so that was the one where I met my higher self. Okay, so another time I was in the desert and it was same thing, near death experience meditation, where it just ended up getting a lot deeper than I expected. And that's when I met the god Ganesh, who's the Indian elephant god of high intelligence, and he's also it's like the obstacle clearer and the door opener. So it's like same energy as Anubis and Metatron, who are also 2 other high dimensional beings that I come from the bloodline. So it's like, because what I'm here to do is I'm here to like what we're doing right now, bring information to those that are looking for it and searching for it and that like want it and need it and that are going to actually use it. So it's the same thing where when I met him, because like I had said, because you always set an intention before you meditate, like you set an intention before everything, and then that makes sure it's essentially like you're programming the world and the universe to pretty much bend to your will. Like that's what it is. Like, what do you want? And the universe is like, okay. It isn't like, universe, I'm gonna trick you, I'm gonna bend you, and it's like, ah! It's like, oh, it's you bend it as in you bend it with your mind. You're just like, haha, I'm gonna make this happen because I want it. So so I set the intention that, excuse me. So I set the intention that I wanted to meet the spirit. Like I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure all this is real. Like I believe it's real, but I want to know who is my main spirit guide. Like who's the spirit guide that like I chose and all of that. And yeah, when I went into the meditation and I started like astral projecting, and Ganesh met me, and I was like, wow, this is freaking me out, because he was huge. But he
Wow.
was in his, because he has two forms. He was in his human, in like his Indian human form, and then he has his elephant form. But yeah, it's like I saw him at the gateway, right before I went. It's referred to as a blast off, when a deity takes you to where they're from. Essentially, they take you to their home planet or their home dimension. And so like I actually went through each dimension and I saw what they each look like. They look very similar to the movie Soul, the Disney
Okay.
movie Soul. There's a I think it's like in the first 30 minutes where the guy, like he's died, and then his spirit is in the fifth dimension, and he's like on this it's like a escalator that's going to, or like a conveyor belt that's floating towards like the white light. But if you go into the white light after you die, like literally you reincarnate. Like that's what that is, because it's a portal back to Earth. Like that's what
That's what
the
I
bright
keep
white light
hearing.
is. Yeah, it's a portal. So if you don't just go into it, then you get to do other stuff. And like, let's say there's a grandparent that you're supposed to talk to. When you die and you astral project, you pop out of your body, then they come meet you. They're like, hey, we have work to do. You can go do your fun work. And yeah, rather than anything else. It's like, it's supposed to
Wow.
be enjoyable. Like, it's not supposed to be like, I'm scared. I don't want this. It's like, no, we are made of everything in the universe. Nothing is scary. Nothing can hurt
Wow. That's deep. I haven't even seen that movie. I'm gonna have to watch that with the kids.
you.
The Soul
Yeah.
movie.
Yep.
And you said he was huge. Wow. So I remember I had asked you about a dream interpretation, and you had said that you are connected to Baron Samedi too, correct?
Yep.
And how did you discover that?
Because I got this black hat
Hmm.
when I was at a thrift store. I was like, ooh, a black fuzzy, because I started getting into fuzzy bucket hats, right? I was
Okay.
like, I love this. Regular bucket hats, yeah. Fuzzy, yeah. Because like I like staying warm, like it's like my main thing. So I started wearing this hat, and then I started because I didn't get it, because like, oh, I'm super into black hats. I don't ever wear black hats ever, really. Like it's not a thing where I'm like, yeah, I did love that as a kid. It's like, no, not really. So when I started wearing this, I started to like, he pretty much started to come to me, essentially. And then I did it like, because I do these deep shaman meditations with myself. I also walk people through different like experiences, meditations, and trips, but that's like a side thing. So I was doing like a deep shaman meditation because I wanted to like tap into the energies, because I was like, okay, why, like, so essentially I'm wearing like this hat, like bucket hats, like the ones that I wear are essentially top hats, but the way that I wear it, it like doesn't look like that, because like I wear things like my way, you know. I'm like, I wear like a grandma kind of. It's like a little flip up. It's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, show my hair. But but it was mainly the hat, because I was like, the black hat, I've seen that before. But Baron Somebody wears the black top hat, because
Mhm.
black top hats are magical. Like even with Frosty, how does Frosty become alive?
Mm.
Black
And the
top hat
Mad
flies on his
Hatter.
head. Yep. It's like the top hat it's magical. Like it's like, but it also, it's us accessing our crown chakra. So that's to do with that, which is like the highest chakra when it comes to like your knowing of higher dimensional information. So I started to connect with Baron Samedi and Baba Legba, because those are two of the same. It's like essentially the same energy, just two different forms of it.
Mhm.
And so I created like a mental space, which is how I like bring in deities like sometimes. So I create a mental space and I called them in because I wanted to meet them. But then they started filling my box, like because it's like a white box room. They started filling it with this black mist, right? And then one of my dead uncles that I never met, he actually came through and blasted that space with this divine white light. And he's like, no, like they're actually trying to come in and like they were gonna try and like take over and manipulate you, but you come from their bloodline. So I needed to tell you that first so that you understand they're actually under your control. And I was like, what? And then he told me that the reason why they were even coming to me is because people were sending me dark magic attacks. And I'm like, what? Well, I'm glad I'm okay then. And that's how I found out that I'm connected to like different because they're called voodoo energies. But the thing is, we're taught voodoo's evil. It's like, no. People that have negative intentions to harm people tend to use voodoo energy, because voodoo energy is powerful, primordial, ancient energies.
Mhm.
And then they use it for negative things. And then that's what we're told through media. Yeah, voodoo. It's like, no, there's just like how there's beings of light that have negative intentions still. Like,
Right.
okay, there are priests and pastors that have had negative intentions. Okay. It's like
Yes.
that, where just because you say I am this doesn't mean that there's only one, like one size fits all. It's not what's going on. It's your intentions, because these high sciences, these just like, okay, black magic, supposed to be bad, right? What do they call us? Black people.
Yeah.
And how do they look at us? And how are we portrayed all around the world? In this new, okay, we were originally here on Earth, okay? We're not trying to hurt nobody. And I'm just saying, there are people with different intentions, because one size doesn't fit all. But in general, when it comes to white magic, black, no, what are your green magic? What are your intentions? Because you can do green magic, which is plants and herbs and stuff. And you can hurt people with that if your intentions are negative. Make a little hurt somebody's tummy potion. You know what I mean? Like, or you can be making herbs and different concoctions that actually heal people. You know, so it's really getting all the information and understanding that your intentions are what make things. That's what a manifestation is. What do you want? What do you intend to have? Where do you see yourself? Intentions. Everything is intentions. But yeah, so when it came to that whole thing, because we're taught like, oh, you know, the black hats are scary. But then we got magicians that are like, a rabbit, ha 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 ha.
Right.
So there's levels to it. But just so everybody knows, I'm a being of love, light, and ether. I'm an ancient primordial being, and I'm here to raise the vibration, you know, make sure that we're all happy here. So just if anybody, because I don't want anybody getting scared, because remember, there's no fear, because you can't really be hurt. It's like, that's the thing. We think we can be hurt because you think you're this body. Does your body go with you when you dream? No. That's proof that you are the high dimensional being, and your body is from Earth, because it has to stay here. Your body doesn't go anywhere but here. Can't even, I'm not even going to that. So back to the whole Baron Samedi things, like when I was connecting with them, I had to understand like the power, because they were going to try and control me at first because I didn't know what was going on. But then one of my family members came in, he's like, hey, you're actually in charge. I'm like, okay. So they're just energies that, it's pretty much like they're like my cousins is what it feels like.
Okay.
Like my little cousins. There you go.
Okay.
Because many of us, we're finding out that we actually were here before time existed. We were here before the sun was here, before Earth was here, before these planets. And we were in other galactic sectors doing what we're doing on Earth, which is we ascend these planets that have been created so that they can have a cosmic form, so that in Dreamland, in the future, you can act Gaia, Earth, so that you can actually see her in like she'll be able to physicalize herself into a humanoid shape and then interact with us. Because the Earth doesn't ever go to sleep. How could she ever become another form and dream with us? She never sleeps. Like, we're getting into a time where it's time for Earth to like be able to become. That doesn't mean the Earth's going to blow up. It means that she's going to be able to essentially astral project out of her Earth body. It's like, that's where we're helping to raise her up, ascend Earth. That's what it is. When you ascend, you're able to leave. Okay, sorry, I just got a call. Sorry about that.
No, you're okay. When it's funny, when Baron Samedi came and visited me in my dream, and I briefly told you this before, telling the audience, I was scared. I didn't, first of all, I didn't even know who the hell it was. I'm like, who is this tall? He was dark, and dark is so beautiful. But in this instance, he had the face white with the hat, with the, and I'm just like, and I swear, I thought he was saying to me, like, I'm going to kill you and your whole family. And I said, what? So I started running. And I kept running till I stopped and I said, what? Nothing has the power over me. Nothing's going to happen to me. I'm safe. And then all of that went away. And then he came again, but this time he came in another form of like, let's say you, but it wasn't you. It was somebody else that embodies his spirit. I will say that.
Yeah.
And because I don't want to put who it was, and they were very friendly to me. Very friendly, like we were kikiing, like we were friends. So I was just like, oh my God, what is this about? Am I supposed to communicate with this being? Because he's reaching out to me. So I don't know.
Yeah. So you come from that cosmic bloodline. And what that means is that he came to test you. Same with me. Like they come to test us. Like, are they just going to let us control them? And they're just going to be all scared? Or are they going to command us? Because they are gods as well. And that's the things we're learning. Like that's a god. Being a god means you are a high dimensional being, right? But the type of gods and goddesses that we're referencing are the ancient primordial ones.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this whole, like, where did native people come from? Where did the original beings that were like doing stuff, like making stuff, where did they come from?
Right.
Earth is just like humans. No, because does Earth do that now? Earth just pops out humans out of the crevices of the ocean? It's like, no, we were created by these high dimensional beings before. Because remember, we are high dimensional beings. We're just in a body. That's also high dimensional.
And thank you for saying that, because so many people really believe, and I said this yesterday, so many people believe that the God of the Bible, like okay, this is confusing to even articulate, because the God of the Bible isn't creator. It's a form of creation. I mean, they can create, but it isn't the creator, like the infinite intelligence. No. And I don't think a lot of Christians don't. Sure, a lot of people is praying to Jesus and calling them God. It's a lot of stuff getting misconstrued in religion. So I'm glad you kind of brought that up. So you're saying usually when these beings come forward and they contact you, it's because you're in their bloodline.
Yeah, otherwise they wouldn't come, or they were sent by somebody to do a task. Because that's what they do. Like, they're like task beings. Like, if you're stronger than them, meaning you come from their bloodline and you're the newest, like, we are the newest version of our ancestors. Yeah, we're the newest version because we were our ancestors. Like, when it comes to who you were in a past life, that was you still. And then who you were in a body before that, that was still you, because it's the same spirit energy, just in another body, because we have different missions. Back into the soul contracts, we have different things that we came here to accomplish. Like, so many of us came here to be influencers, to have a platform, to write books, to make art that just influences people to then upgrade themselves or open their mind. We're like, whoa, wait, hold on. I've never seen anything like, what is this being? And it can be, let's just say it was a picture of Baron Samedi. And they're like, what? I've never seen anything that looks like this. Why am I feeling some way about this? Is because that person is going to be in the bloodline of that being. That's why they're even coming into contact with an image of them, because that's how the spirit realm gets us ready. They're like, we're gonna show you pictures. We're gonna like put our name over here and the lights. You're gonna see a billboard. It's gonna have my name, and then I'll pop up so that you're not scared. It's like they prep us because they don't want us to be scared, but they do test us.
Well, baby, I was scared. So I wonder if somebody was coming for me.
But you passed the test, though. That's the thing. You ran and you realized, why am I running? What? That's me saying, I'm weak. Take me now. Right. I'm not strong enough. But he's like, oh, okay. Oh, you have fight back. You didn't allow me to just do whatever I want. So therefore, you can tell me what I will work for you.
Yeah, it's like they literally test so us. Friendly, like
yeah, they're like, haha, okay, I know I scared you before, but I had to test you and make sure you were ready. Because like, I'm not going to listen to anybody that's going to let me do whatever I want. And that's how these beings work. We are waking up to the fact that we have a spirit. Okay, what's the point of having a spirit team if we're not going to work with them? Like, they're just here to like, we're just going to like watch over. That's it? They're just going to watch us? Like, we hired them to watch us? No, we hired them to help us. For sure. Ask your ancestors, ask these deities. Like, if Aphrodite has, you're like, I just love Aphrodite. Most likely she's one of your guides. Call her, ask her to help you with love. Help with the help you fight so you can find that heart that's your twin. Like, that's how the interactions go, rather than Aphrodite, please, goddess of love, I'll give you 10,000 like push-ups or just whatever you're giving. I'll give you this so you can give me my thing. It's like, no, this isn't some barter exchange. They are spirits that don't have bodies. Okay, I've said this before. If you have a body, you get to operate on Earth and influence things. Do these gods and goddess bodies? No. So therefore, they can't influence anything. Who's really in charge here? We are. That
brings up another good topic. Okay, so, for instance, from other people that I've interacted with, so like I told you, Baron came to me. I have reached out and conveyed a message that I wanted sent, and I think it worked. But at any rate, I'm kind of discouraged from talking to these beings. And I'm saying this because I want people to get clarification about this. I think this is really important. Because people make it seem like it becomes, now they keep calling you're on like run for them. Go to the store and give me this wine. Go to the store and get this liquor. Go to the store and get this. And it's like, I don't really, I don't, that's something else taking my power away and taking control of my life. And isn't that like kind of counter of what we should be doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it's slave mentality where it's like some outside force is telling you to do something and you're doing it because you feel like you have to. You feel like you have to, and so you do it.
So are we supposed to, I get the altar, like I have an altar myself, but are we supposed to, how do we do that? Like because
okay, so if you, it's like, it depends on how you approach it. It's fine to have an altar. Like for me, I don't have an altar per se, but every time I go to like a different hotel or I'm like in a new Airbnb or something like that, I lay out my crystals, you know, like on one little table, you know, actually I have them all here with me right now, you know, because they want to be a part of this, you know, so it's not so much about like, you have to do anything a specific way. That's the old way. That's the old energies. We have gone through so many portals, and like 2022 was the year of portals. There's a portal every month, multiple times. There's like 3 eclipses. Like there's all, we are in new energy able to access and use. So since we're able to do that, now is the time where you don't have to beg. You don't have to wish. You don't have to hope. You learn the science of how we call on our ancestors, these ancient deities, and then you tell them what to do. You can ask them if you want, but you do not beg them, and you do not let them tell you what they want you to do. Because the thing is, think about it like this: if Baron Samedi comes down, he's like, "Get me a bottle of wine, you know, 3 carrots, a bag of candy, and the right leather shoe from an old man." And you're like, "Got it." You go out, you go find all this stuff, you bring it, and he's like, "Good. Now what do you want?" Okay, right? You were just a slave.
Yeah.
But if he's like, but then if he's like, "Get me all these things," and then, you know, the right shoe of old man, you're like, "No." He's like, "All right, what do you need?" Because that's how it was for me. Because they would ask me, they're like, "I want you to go to the store. I want you to get 12 chicken wings." I'm like, "I'm not getting 12 chicken wings. F that. No." And they're like, "You passed the test. What do you need?" And I'm like, "What? That was a trick?" And they're like, "No, it wasn't a trick. It was a test to see if you're going to be our slave. Because if you're going to be our slave, for sure, we're going to get everything we want. Not, we are here to do what you do your bidding." And I'm like, well, I'm glad I wasn't a little wiener about it. They're like, "Oh, okay, I'm going to get these 12 chicken wings." I'm like, "We're not spending real money for it." But okay.
Right.
Because I was like living in my car at the time, you know, like money wasn't like that. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I think you got the wrong one, or you got the right one. So, you know, but that's how I learned. I was like, oh, the gods are testing us. And if you do everything they say, they're not going to tell you, "Hey, you don't actually have to do this." They're like, "Nah, cook me dinner." And then people cook them a feast. I'm like, "Ah, hell yeah." And then they possess the bodies and then eat it. And not in a weird way where the person's like, "Ah." It's like, no, it's like you think you're eating all this food, but really like your ancestors like within you also enjoying it.
Yeah.
And that's why they have us do that. But yeah, you don't have to do any of that. It's like, no, who's the real god and goddess? We are. Who's our parent? God, apparently, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so we have no god powers, but our dad is God? What? Lie. That makes no sense. That's like saying, yeah, my dad's black and my mom's white, but you know, I don't, you know, it just gets ridiculous where if you don't really look at your genetics, then you don't understand what you are. See what I'm saying? It's like we have the same power of the being that we come, but the thing is, we don't necessarily, like, our bodies more so come from the God in the Bible. Because remember, we're trapped in these bodies. Like, it would be preferable to be our high dimensional selves on Earth.
Yes.
But it's not, the rules do not make it like that. You have to wake up, live a 24-hour day, and grow. You have to grow. In the higher dimensions, you are what you are. You can change your form. You can become like a little baby with wings, but you're still like a sentient, all-knowing being. And you're, you know, conversing, moving around, doing things, building. And but here it's like you have to grow a body from a cell, and you have to grow it to be able to affect things here. So it's like I said, who's really in charge? Who grew a body? We did. Who do they have to ask to do the things for them to then be able to help? We do. Like all of it takes it takes us. So it's time for people to stop relying on these entities and these beings that don't actually help them, and start getting it themselves by learning how to manifest. You write it down, you say thank you for my new home, I love it, and then you work towards getting that home, and then it pops up, rather than I'm just going to work at this other company and save until I have enough money to then buy something I want. It's like, no, it's not going to work like that. That's why things don't work right now, because people operate in that energy. I'm going to work and try to get the money for it. I'm going to try to get the money for it. I'm going to hope that I get this new job. No, make your own business. Make your own business, or work for somebody that has their own business. And then that's how you'll be able to have the freedom, the time, and the ever increasing abundance, rather than have like a set salary. You can only make $32,000 this year. It's like, what? Why? Like, because that's what we said. It's like, but why? Like, because. And people are like, okay. And then that's your life. You give away your manifestation ability.
Right.
Or before you even go into work, you write what you want to happen. And it isn't like, I want this to happen, thank you, and then it happens instantly. It's like, no, you have to practice and get good at it. You practice and you get good at it. You practice and you get good at it. And then you start seeing your life improve, and then you keep doing what works. Keep going. Keep using these high science magics, which everyone else is using. Like, don't think that the billionaires and millionaires do not know about magic.
Okay.
They do. Everybody does. Everybody that is at the top. Right.
Why you sitting up here scared to use it? And that's the thing. That's where the fear comes in. Keep you locked and keep me up here and all that type of dumb stuff. It's crazy. So what made you and I know I can't keep you too much longer because we're going for a while, but what made you start doing the tarot?
I was always interested in it, but I also had a past life as a gypsy, like as a gypsy woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Caravan, all that. Yep. So in that past life, I was one of the card readers. So so it's one of those things where I've always felt that, but until recently, last couple of years, like it wasn't really available in that kind of way. You know what I mean? Like you bring some tarot cards out around your family and watch them all call you the devil. You know what I mean? Like it's ridiculous. But it's because there's lack of information. People are just scared in general, and they don't want to die because they think they're going to disappear. It's like, I don't want to disappear. So then everything is based off that fear. People have been mind controlled into, or pretty much people have been conditioned through movies, TV shows, books, just whatever's going on, to gaslight people start to wake up, which means we're like, hey guys, I think something else is going on. They're like, nope, you're crazy. Hey everybody, this person thinks something's going on. They're crazy. And then we get embarrassed, and we don't want to be rejected and get kicked out of our friend groups and stuff because of thoughts we had. So then you just kind of stop. Then that just kind of keeps us where we're at. I've always been interested in it. I just never really knew that it was a thing. When I started getting my Racqi training, started waking into that, got my psychic development classes, started waking into that, then I was like, you know what? I think I want to try out tarot. And then my guide started channeling it to me. Like I would just have random things where I'd be trying to write like a dream recall or something. And then when I actually wake up and look at it, it says tarot, tarot, tarot. I'm like, what? I wrote it 3 times. Like that's kind of ridiculous. And then other things would happen where I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get into it. And then I would have a channeled message or thought come into my mind. Tarot on TikTok, tarot on TikTok. And they just kept saying that. And I'm like, I'm gonna do it. And then they challenged me last year, like late December. In 2021. My angels, they're like, because I'm a Scorpio, and when you challenge a Scorpio, it's kind of hard for us not to like accept the challenge and like, you know what I mean, and rise above the challenge and prove to everybody we can do it. Like that's our thing, is like the underdog story. So it's flying. No, tarot, I got this. Because it's trying to leave again.
They're messing with us.
Okay, yeah. So with my angels, yeah. So they challenged me. They're like, you won't do tarot every day for a year. I was like, okay. Just gonna challenge me like that? Like, yeah, you won't do tarot for every day for a year. You won't do it. I was like, challenge accepted, angels. And so I just like this on January 1st, 2023. That was me actually reaching the year of doing tarot every single day. Like I'm talking Monday through Sunday, not a day off.
And I saw that video.
Sickness, it's like through sickness, through health, through me living in my car for months, through me having dark attacks, through me not knowing how I was going to get Wi-Fi when I'm in the UK. I'm just like, going to Starbucks and random just little shops. And, I get a hotel and it's a bed and breakfast with no Wi-Fi. I'm like, I need to do my video. Just, I did it. And from me focusing on that, because me doing tarot every single morning for a year, that's me waking up instantly tapping in the spirit realm. Instantly. So that helped me get to where I am now. Because I've been practicing for an entire, I was doing tarot on TikTok before, but it's like that whole everyday, like, no matter what, 3 minutes. I was like, yeah, I got this. And then I literally changed the landscape of how tarot is done on TikTok. Like I can see myself in so many readers now. But that was the point of why I did it, because I wanted the spiritual realm to become a thing we're not scared of, and that people actually are able to tap into and use to help heal and get information and be happier, which means avoid situations and people that we don't want to be around or we don't want to just entertain. Like it gives us that option because you get your energy read, you know? So my literally challenged me and I accepted. So that's how I did the tarot. And then it's like, that was like, it wasn't the start, but it became the start of something, because that was like my foot in the door to all of the spiritual babies that exist now. And they're like, what's going on? What's happening? And, and then also, I also published my book because Archangel Metatron and Archangel Michael also challenged me for that. They're like, you won't go to Sedona and go to all the different vortexes and have us channel information so you can publish a book and put it out so that people don't really have to read the keys of Enoch. Because my connection with Enoch and Metatron is like that, like that's me. So but the keys of Enoch is this thick. It's thousands of pages. Ain't nobody about to read that. Even me, I skim through. I'm like, it's kind of annoying. And then Metatron's like, yeah, I know. That's why I want you to rewrite it. They're not, no. So my book it's about 50 pages, and it's a literal transcription of my journal when I was going through my awakening. So when I went to Sedona, when I met my angels, talked to my angels, met my healing master, the names of all these different guides and deities, the information about the dimensions, how to connect with persons, like everything that I was learning and was channeled, it's for every single human that wants to learn. And that's why in the dedication, I dedicate the book to every being in existence, because it's all of our information. You know what I mean? It's not like a bio, like, oh, guys, find out about me. It's like, no, awaken yourself. The only way that I know how to help people do that is by giving you the Ingram experience, which is like why I call it that. Because like, how else can I explain the experiences that I go through? Because it's not like psychic experience or mediumship experience or shaman experiences or me as it's just me. It's like, no. It's all of our experiences. So that's why I'm here.
I don't know. Like one day, I ordered some tarot cards, and I had ordered a whole bunch of them, and I had one on TikTok and pulled some, not tarot, with another set. It's these cards you can pull, and they give you like a message. Like recently, I kept getting one about what are your beliefs around money, right? That type of thing, and they have it. But then I was like, I don't know about me doing this on TikTok for real, So I didn't continue to do it. I would just pick a card and give a message off of it. For a minute, I was like, let me start pulling them every day. It will help me get stronger, but I stopped. And maybe I should get back to that.
Yeah, because like you have the tools. Why not use them? But only if you want to. That's another thing. It's like if you don't like tarot, like F it.
Oh, I do like them, but it's like, okay, for you, did you study all the meanings, or did you just crack it open and just go straight from intuition?
Both. I went by intuition as I was doing the videos every day. So it's like me doing the videos every day is how I was teaching myself and how I was learning while on the side, because like most tarot cards and oracle decks come with a booklet. So the tarot that I had, because I like the deck because it's like inclusive of like every ethnicity, so it's not just like only pale people or only brown people. It's like every color, like tan, peach, cream, brown, cocoa, mocha, Nubian, like all of them. So then everybody that I give readings for, they all can connect with it because the images look like all of us, So in that, but in the booklet, it has a description of the vibration of the numerology numbers. So the meaning of 0 through 9. And when you learn that, you literally learn the tarot, because tarot is based off of the major arcana, which is 0 through 22, I believe, which are, each one of those is like a specific energy, you know, like the death card or the lovers, you know. But then we have the princes and princesses, or the pages, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, and then the
Okay.
aces are 1. And if you know what 1 means, it's new beginnings. Then anytime you get an ace card, you know it's new beginning of whatever it is. So if it's if it's the wands, that's fire, energy, passions, desires, you know, like moving forward. Swords are decisions, thoughts, it's air signs, you know. So if you get a 2 of swords, if you know the vibration of 2, which is usually union, duality, then you know it's always going to have to do with that. You just need, and then you just need to learn the 4 elements of the cards. You learn the numbers, you learn the elements, and then you go from there with your intuition, rather than, because like I'll give a reading and people would be like, well, you know, whenever I get the Queen of Cups, it actually means, it's like, shut up. Like, I read it like this because this is how my magic works.
Right.
But people are so scientific. They're like, I can't even listen to that. You have to follow the book I read. It's like, but who wrote that book? A person that got the information channeled.
Right. Exactly. And you do a great job. I enjoy your I love it. You be like, pop, pop. If you see it, this is meant for you. I'm like,
Yeah, because I know that that's the only way to get people now. People are, oh, it's for me. It's like, people should already know that, but the thing is, people haven't learned that concept. They don't know that. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna start saying in my videos, just because it just makes it easier for people to understand, you know, rather than just like, just watch my videos. I don't make videos so people can watch it. Like, remember, my angels challenged me to do it, you know, so it wasn't like I want to be famous. It's like, I already was pursuing acting modeling full time, and I was already on that track. Found out what was going on, left that world, stepped into the spiritual realm, learned Harry Potter's real, which is like my favorite way to say magic and all of that is real, because everybody knows what Harry Potter is. We're all just like, Wingardium Leviosa, please be real. Like, all of us, we all know. But it's because we knew deep down that it really is real. And that's why it's like, now we get to actually enjoy and embrace this new world that's been told to us that it was never going to happen. Like, because when I would imagine my life, like, in 30 years, like, there's no way I'm working a 9 to 5. There's no way that I have to do this. Like, I would tell people, because like, I went to college and all that. I would tell people, there is no way in hell I'm still gonna be doing a regular job. Like, I had to figure something out. Little did I know, the ascension and awakening and end times is actually gonna be happening. I didn't know, none of us knew that. Like, dang, life. And it's like, oh, it's changing like crazy. More magic again? I'm here for it.
Oh yeah. Like I told you, my job let me go. And you know, I'm getting out of that struggle of, do I need a job? But you know, I'm feeling like you don't need a job. You're not supposed to have a job. You're supposed to do what you're supposed to be doing. Like, let it go. Let it go. Decide you're not going to do it and it'll be fine, type of thing. You know, I got a funny story. It's not so funny, but it is funny, about the Harry Potter. It was a church I was going to, a sanctified church. So Pentecostal Apostolic Church. And this lady came in and was talking about how her daughter was, I think she was reading Harry Potter books. And they were talking about how satanic and evil it was, and how she ended up getting a poltergeist in her home. And she's telling this story, and you could see she's cowering and she's crying and she's scared. And I think they were trying to like rid her of demons. It was very crazy. So like growing up, like Harry Potter was like demonized in my home.
Yeah, and the reason why that happened is because it takes people away from the conditioning of religion.
Yeah. But a poltergeist though, like, why did she have a poltergeist in her house?
Okay, so I'm guessing like a poltergeist is just like a spirit. Like
like throwing stuff. Spirit. Yeah.
It's like, even with that, it's like throwing stuff. That because spirits can't affect physical things like that. There are ways that I've read where when we astral project, where you can try to affect physical things, because you're in the 4th dimension, which is a copy of this realm. So you're not physical. Where people can kind of like, you know, like move the blinds a little bit,
Mhm.
You know, not like, oh my God, my TV. No, that's movies. But yeah, it's like, because yeah, just people tend to freak out, and then that also causes them to not hallucinate, but it's like to see things and have visions. But even getting into that, it's like most of the time that stuff's real. But who's to say? Because so the girl read a book and then an angry evil spirit came in. No, it's most likely there already was a spirit that was around anybody in the family, or that
Right.
attached to anyone in the family, that either the mom or the daughter became aware of. And the girl also happens to be reading a book about magic.
Right.
Like there's nothing in Harry Potter that's like these words. And it's like, no, they have some Latin in there, but it's nothing that's like opens a portal to demon. Like, no, like, because then that would have happened to most of us. You know what I mean? We don't have it like, yeah, I was reading Harry Potter 3. There was weird stuff that happened, like poltergeist. No, I had the best time of my life reading those books. Yeah. Like it's the best time of my life.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that has to do with, like if you, what you believe. And when
Yeah.
it comes to church, it's like many church people believe in demons and stuff, as opposed to the angels. You know what I mean? So it's
Mhm.
like they
And
believe
they be
more
the
in that than
demons.
like I have this angelic protection. They're like the demon, and it's like yeah, but also, you need to like level yourself up, awaken yourself, which the church doesn't teach you how to do.
No. No, I think melanated people really need to start considering why we are some of the scariest people. What is that about? I think we really, really need to concentrate. Is it is it really just some coincidence that we are some of the scariest people ever? And why is that? Why are we scary? Why have we been conditioned to be scary? And why would we have been conditioned to be scary? So some of the things we really need to just start asking ourselves questions about, instead of nightmaring ourselves and nightmaring others to death,
Yep.
which is crazy. But Justin, I know I've had you for almost 2 hours. I definitely want to do this
Oh wow,
again.
I didn't even realize.
Yes, I definitely want to do this again, and hopefully next time, because I'm telling you, don't feel bad. It wasn't just you dealing with the blocks. Like
It
I
is
was feeling a
weird.
little stupid because I was getting stuck in this interview, and it's just like, the one I did yesterday, I was flowing, and so it's just like, what's going on today? And so I apologize even on my end, but it's definitely some opposition going on for sure.
Yeah, and I deal with that like on a day. Like that's a part of me being a spiritual practitioner. Like at the level that I am, it's like I deal with dark energies that try to make it so I can't get these messages out. Because that's the main thing that I'm doing. Is I'm that's what are tarot readings? What are energy readings? What are Reiki energy healings? What is this? It's information that
Mhm.
once we obtain it, we become stronger every time. You get less fear every time.
Yeah.
So let's just say somebody's so scared about like a relationship that they're in, like I'm frozen. And then from reading, it's like everything is going to work out, or you need to let this end. Then they have information, they can move forward.
Yeah.
It's all about information. So the more that people are open to receiving information, to hearing different perspectives, because the thing is, you can still be extremely religious and still live a good life. It's
Yeah.
just that there are new options that are appearing that put the power in your hands. And it's
Right.
like, don't you want that? Don't we all want that? Don't you want the power to make your life what you want it to be, rather than have to rely on a boss paying you enough, or the person you're with reciprocating the energy enough? It's like, nah, we can do this all on our own, because by doing that, we end up attracting the people that we're supposed to be around. Anybody from our past who's still around, they're supposed to be around. They're supposed to be there, because otherwise they would have been kicked out of our lives by now, because that's what a part of the ascension is like shedding the old energies, because we are literally becoming that new kundalini snake,
Mm.
literally, because we all have the kundalini energy, and as we awaken, that's why everything is getting so hot. Like we're getting hot, the earth is getting hotter. Like of course it's been cold because it's freaking January. It's like it's the cold time. But in
Yeah.
general, like do you remember last summer? Oh my god. Do you remember? Well, not remember, but I was in California. And then that's when I went to the UK, because I was like, okay,
Mm.
I've been baking for 2 months. Is it 108 every day? Okay. And I thought that there was like something going on with the matrix. So I was like, there's no more clouds. No, the sun was evaporating them all. That's what was happening. I was like, oh, okay, I'm not scared about that. Because I was like, where are the clouds? The clouds don't look like they looked like when I was a kid. It's like, no, the sun is burning them up. It's like, you can't hide from me.
But that, now that you bring that up, what about, so I'm in Detroit, Michigan. Yeah. It's been, and it's been cloudy for days. I think we'll get like, it'll be days, a little bit of sun, then go back to days. And the cloudiness doesn't look normal. It looks like
it's weird.
Somebody put a cover, or it's something weird going on. And it's like, do you think that's natural, or do you think it's people are trying to put it like the do you think it's natural, people the aliens trying to cloak their ships, or what's the other theory? Them trying to block the sun so we won't be activated.
Yeah, so I would go with the latter, I believe, as they say. Less confusing. So I'm trying to get with that phrase. It's been confusing me lately. I was like, why do they say that? Why don't you just say the second one or the one at the end? So yeah, so the one at the end where okay, so technology is not what we're shown. How many years has the iPhone been exactly the same? All of them. How do we not have a new device from the top company that invent things? So technology is being muted. It's being like not advanced. Like, do our laptops different? Why are they not from 10 years ago? Why are they not different? We should have like, they're all see-through and clear, and like, you know what I mean? It's made of this new anatomical, like space age. Man, it's the same stuff they're pulling up from the earth. It's that lithium ion, you know. It's the same stuff. They're not giving us the actual technology. I've seen, even though this sounds, I've seen weather machines. I've seen them. They're these giant box-looking things that pump out smoke. They pump out just like a fog machine. They're giant fog machines. And because the people that are in charge of the world, that are losing their power, they know that once we awaken from all of the light codes, the moon energies, when it's nighttime, that's when we can see our starseed families in the ships. There's no such thing as a comet. A comet? Okay, my question about the comets, and anybody who's listening right now or watching this, have you ever experienced a comet hitting Earth or a meteor? Ever? Have you ever heard a story from your family that's like, yeah, when I was a kid, a meteor straight up fell, exploded. I went over to it. It was glowing. I got powers from it. It's like, that's movies. The moon ever been hit by a meteor since we've been alive? Through all of time, has the moon been hit by anything? Has the Earth? What? No. So it's like there's some lies going on here. A shooting star. So stars just shoot. Where is it going? Doesn't it not want to hit stuff, right? Like, we don't want to. No, that's our starseed families in their light ships going through our little Earth atmosphere. Like, look at us, guys. Look at us. Come on, pay attention. Up here. Look up here. Come on, guys. Meditate and astral project to us so we can talk to you. Because when I met my higher self, it was in my light ship. Like, it was in a light ship. I could see Earth to the side. I was like, where am I? What is this? Because I had never gone to the other dimensions before. That was the first time. I was like, I don't understand where I am. Like, I feel safe, though. I feel good. I'm happy. I see Earth, so I'm not too far, you know? But yeah, we got to ask ourselves these questions. Have you guys ever looked up at the sky? Like, this is a little experiment I want you to do. At nighttime, whenever it's nighttime where you live, go outside, look up at the stars, and keep looking for that one that they say is twinkling. What is a twinkle? That's a nonsense word. Look for the star that when you look at it, it's going like this. It's like, look at me. Look at me. Hey, 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 hey. You might see a red light. You might see a blue light. You might see a green light. Just stare at it. That one where you're like, there's something about that one. That's your starseed family. In their light ship, watching over you, making sure you're good. You're still alive, right? Yeah. You have literal cosmic higher dimensional help always. Go outside at nighttime and look for your star. Look for your ship. You'll see it. I do it all the time. And I always give a thumbs up. I'm like, still on track. Or the mission is still good. Because I'm by myself a lot of times, you know, traveling the world, healing these areas. Because when I'm traveling, I get drawn to places, but like Earth will be like, okay, come here. And I go there. I'm like, why am I here? And then there'll be some like old holy site or something. And then I reconnect all the energies. And then people start coming around again, like the animals, the birds start chirping. You know, like I'll see like a fox. I'm like, yeah, okay, the energy's back. But yeah, it's like there's so much going on that we are a part of. That all you have to do is go outside at night, look up, and that's when it starts. I'm telling you, like it's gonna blow your mind. Seeing blue lights in space. They said those were stars and planets. Why? How is it shining a colored light? It's like because it's not really that. And we're not really what they told us we are. Slaves, get the out of here. Yeah, the biggest lie ever.
Exactly. I'm just wondering when they're gonna stop the sham with the weather machines. When is
that's never gonna stop. Because as soon as the earth, because that, so back to the weather machine, because I did kind of tangent. So as more cloud covers on the earth, it's harder for the light codes to get to us. And what a light code is when the light touches you, it says grow. When the light touches things, it's grow everything. I'm telling you to grow. For people that are like, what is a light code? It's a light beam that has a intention in it. When it touches our skin, what does it do? Tan, grow, energize. You know, for some people it's like burn, but you know, it's not saying that. You know, like the earth, the sun isn't saying burn. It's just like that's just a reaction that we have. But it's like we are just so cosmic that when we interact with space, stars, the sun, the moon, we level up, we learn more, we upgrade, we release, we cry, we get these things out of these negative energies out of us. But if it's a cloudy day, you don't get to do that. For every eclipse that was here I think in October, November, December, I didn't get to see any of them because it was cloudy.
Yeah.
Every one of the days. And I'm like, every eclipse, it's cloud cover. It didn't used to be like that. I remember it'd be like, the eclipse is here, and everybody around the whole world would have the little box, and everyone's like, at 12 o'clock, it's gonna be here. At 3:30, it's gonna be here. We don't do that anymore. It's like we don't all connect to them. Like, no, they're like, no. Uh-oh.
Yeah, because we were still when you think of it, as you're talking, we were still in the dark a lot then. So now that people are getting hip, now it's an incentive to cloak these things and hide these things. And you don't need to hide stuff and nobody knows about it. Who cares? You know, a handful of people.
We're like, ooh, eclipse. Okay, got to get back to work. But now we're like, eclipse. I'm doing this instead of work. And they're like, oh, no. We need you to work and make us money. And it's like, but I don't want to work for you guys. I want to work because I work for the cosmic goddesses. Like they're called the triple black goddesses that created everything. I come from them and I work for them. And I went through my initiation into like their sect essentially earlier last year. So it's like I've been because we go through initiations, which is like you essentially get brought back into your bloodline and your abilities, and then you get names of like your ancestors and stuff like that, and then they just make themselves more like visible and like more of a tool in your life rather than just like energies that are there speak to. It's like they become very, very active. So yeah, but it's hard when you can't even go outside and look at your starship. Like it's really what it is.
It's crazy.
Go outside and look for that twinkling stars. No such thing as that. A twinkle. Yeah. Once again, what is a twinkle?
I gotta get out of here. I gotta get somewhere where it's more sunny all the time. I'm really considering moving out the States, like I said, because I don't know.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Have you seen the cost of living of other countries? Like the tropical ones?
I've looked at like Ghana, Africa. I've looked at Costa Rica. It's a lot cheaper than here. Yeah. But then it's like you can't.
So for Bali, so for Bali, $300 for a luxury apartment. Food costs $1, like American money, $1. Food is $2. Like I'm telling, because I'm moving very soon. Where? Not sure yet. But I am sure. I just don't like to tell people because people be looking for me, so I kind of got to like live on the go, like a secret agent.
You shouldn't.
But just in general, it's like if you have money in general, like a regular job, that's what it means when people say we go to other countries and live like kings and queens. No, literally, because the money that we have is worth 3 times as much as 4 times as much. If you go to the UK, that's the only place that their money is worth more because we're under the jurisdiction of the queen. Like that's why their money's worth more. But America, it's like our money is second most valuable in the world. You can go anywhere and you instantly have more money. Therefore, you can do more things. You can live better. You can eat better. All of that. It's like, why are we still here again? If you
I don't
want to.
know.
If you don't want to be. But also, this is our native land, though. That's another thing. I'm a Native American. Like, this is our native, like, if you have Egyptian, like true Egyptian bloodline, you're a Native American because we walked over here. That's why there's pyramids everywhere here. That's why I drove
Grand
through
Canyon.
I've been to the Grand Canyon. I saw a statue of Anubis. I'm like, that far off? It looks like they carved Anubis in there, but that's crazy. Why would, what? And then I come find out, no, we were there too. That's why we can we go there? Like, right now, can we get a ticket to go to the Grand Canyon literally and go? No, because then we see too much evidence that they can't destroy. You know what I mean? Like, it takes resources to destroy that stuff.
Though. And we need to start working to dismantle some of these blockings. They shouldn't be able to tell us we can't go here, we can't go there. They need to come out and say we live in a firmament. The rockets do go up and then kind of like come back. They don't never.
And they don't go foot up. It's in space. It's like, no. It goes. When you fly, this is my biggest thing. If you want to go from America to Australia, takes like 20 hours. Why would it take 20 hours when on the globe that they give us, you just go the opposite way?
Yeah.
You wouldn't go east, you would go west, and you just go, we're at Australia. Hey, look, we're at Japan. It took 10 hours. But no, you have to fly, you have to fly past Africa, past Europe, over past Asia, and then you get to Australia? That makes no logical jet fuel using sense.
It makes
because we're in a circle. Like, it's not saying it's completely flat, but it's not a globe how they show us. Because otherwise, you'd be able to, like, travel would be different. It takes 20 hours to get there and like $2,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Why? On the map, Australia's here and America's right here. What?
Right.
Yeah. So
somebody else brought up that point too. They go all out the way. And what is that about?
Yeah. It's like, because there's things that if we see it, then we know what's going on, and then we tell other people, and then we don't work at 9-to-5 jobs. That's what it comes down to. We're like, we won't work anymore. You can't make money off of us. And then that's game over for everything. Corporations end. They don't have workers. The people that own those companies don't work. Because that's the thing, when you have your own business, like, you're a big part of it. The way that these conglomerate businesses work is like, what? No. All the energy comes from the lowest level. And that's what we're changing, because the energies at the lowest level are waking up to the fact that they're gods and goddesses. It can actually manifest finances into their life without having to work a 9-to-5 job, which most people want to do. They're just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to, but I have to.
Not at all.
But it's like, you don't. It's like, no, that's over. And then people are like trying to comprehend that. What do you mean? I still got to go to work though. It's like, no, you believe you do, so therefore you have to. It's like,
right.
So just getting information to the people, like, that's what we're doing. Like, when I was a kid, I knew, like, I was shown by my guides that I was going to live in existence. I was going to be similar to Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Mm-hmm. But I would always be scared, because I was like, but they killed them. I don't want to die. And they're like, it's not going to be the same for you. Don't worry. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. So I kind of avoided stepping into this position until, you know what I mean? Like, things happened recently in the last couple of years. I was like, oh, the world is ending? Okay, everything is what's happening. And then we're able to, like, okay, I truly want to do this. But had we taken up, like, literally, we got shaken up. Whereas, like, the world is ending? I didn't expect that to happen right now. Like, didn't see that coming. Did not see that coming. And then it didn't end. And it's like, oh, we made it? What do we do now? Oh, magic's real. Yeah, we're doing that. Yeah, we're doing it. Magic's real. And everybody's been using it. That's what movies are. Movies are magic being used on you.
Yeah.
So look at the story that we've made up. With all these concepts and subliminals that you don't know. What is that? Because okay, let me put it like this. Did we have movies in the past, like in Egypt, in Greek and Rome, in the Nordic times, in Maya? We were Mayans. Did the Olmecs have this concept of us seeing people do shit that they didn't really do, but they're actually doing it because it's formulated through editing to, you know, like, that's some new age mind control.
Yeah.
But we're kids, we're just taught, like, no, this is like how the world is. And we're like, okay. Because as new spirits, we accept the world that we come into. Because that'd be weird if you you have a body, you get to pop into it, you have to forget everything, but then you come to a place that you don't necessarily want to be at. It's like, no, we come here because we want to be here. We know how it works. It's just that we're taught to forget and then kind of enslaved and but it's all mental. Once you get the information and people start reading books and stuff like that, then that's how you free yourself. You're going to free yourself by reading. You're going to free yourself by closing your eyes and meditating. But people are so used to just like getting the movie or video version of it. Like, I'll just watch the video. It's like, no, you need to get the original information, because seeing those words is what vibrates your third eye open. You're like, whoa, rather than just seeing people act. It's like, that's not going to do it. It's not enough. Not enough, y'all. You can't just watch a movie about the ascension. You have to actually do it.
That's real though, because it's so easy to get caught up in that stuff. It really is. It's so easy to get distracted because it's easy. You're
that's
just
why
sitting there.
It doesn't take effort. Yeah. I think I get it. It's like, no, you have to actually unlock it literally, but you have to close your eyes and meditate. People are like, but it's boring. It's like everything is boring when you first start it. When it comes to it's like with work, I always use this with working out. Nobody's like, I love doing this in the beginning. Something you work at, you see results. You're like, yeah. But in the beginning, you gotta push through it. Same with a book. In the beginning, you're like, boring, until you get to chapter 2. You're like, holy shit, yes. Well, now we're getting good. It's like so many people give up before they get to the good stuff. It's like, don't do that. It's like, don't give up what you want the most for what you want in the moment.
Well, Justin, thank you so much for coming out for me. We got to do this again. We have to do this again. Definitely. I really appreciated this. This was really, was a blessing to me and to those watching. I'm sure you guys make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And also follow Justin you can be followed at where?
It's going to be at The Experience. So do I spell that? It's kind of long though.
I'm going to put your links into this. I'll put his links in the description too. So you don't have to worry about that. Those will be in there, but make sure you subscribe, take some of his classes, book a reading. I did, and I was blessed by it. It was great. So book a reading. He's got all type of services offered. So book it. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you soon, Justin. Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful day.
All right, Sam. Thank you for having me. I'll see you later. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.